Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Laura Clapp Davidson. We are here on Shure.com/livestream to talk about the brand new single channel interface called the MVX2U. This guy came out about a week ago, and I was going to be joined by Mario Ponce, but he is experiencing some weather-related difficulties out there in California, which if you're living there, you know that the struggle has been real. So you're stuck with me for the next little while here to talk about the MVX2U. If you're familiar with perhaps the predecessor to this product, the X2U, you may know the convenience that is the X2U product. And the MVX2U has now added some very key features which are making this product just go over super well and make everybody excited to be able to get their analog microphones, XLR microphones specifically, into their digital audio workstation or into their device. So into their desktop specifically. So that's how I'm going to be using it today. Right now, you'll notice that I'm using the Shure SM7B, and that's what you're hearing right now. So I'm using that with the MVX2U. And the benefit of using the MVX2U is that you can utilize what's called the Shure Shure Plus Motive app, which I have pulled up right here. And the beauty of this is that I can control the gain of my microphone and I can switch over to what's called auto level mode. So let's check that out. This is something that usually comes with our Motive line of products, and it's allowing you with our MV7 specifically to not have to think about your gain. So if you're using auto level mode, it's like having a sound engineer that's always there writing the faders for you. So right now I have it in far mode, meaning I can back off a little bit from the mic, and it's actually going to automatically adjust to compensate for that. So this is really handy if you're in doing a podcast or a live stream and you don't want to have the mic in your face or in your shot. You can put it in far mode and it will adjust. You can also adjust your tones if we switch it up. This is dark mode, natural mode, and bright mode. And you can also adjust for some gain settings if you want it to be a little more loud or you want it to be more normal or quieter. Depending on the type of microphone that you're using, it will adjust accordingly. So because I'm using my SM7B, I want it normal. I want it to do the work that it needs to do. I can also engage fan and power if I were using a condenser microphone so that I can power up those mics, and I can mute it right from within the app and adjust my monitor mix, meaning I can just adjust how much of me I'm hearing as opposed to the playback. So let's say that I was using this mic while gaming. I could adjust the level of the game audio as opposed to my audio if I were talking to who I was playing with. Let's switch it back over to the manual mode. And I do recommend, if you're just joining me, to grab a set of headphones so you can really hear the differences here, because the MVX2U is going to allow me to take my microphone, XLR microphone, plug it into my computer and have studio quality sound no matter where I am. So if I'm using my SM7B, you might be familiar with the fact that you need something that's going to give it a lot more gain, specifically about 60 dBs of gain. If I go back over to my app, you'll notice that I have the ability to add up to 60 dBs. And I can also adjust that monitor mix in manual mode. We just showed off auto level mode. Now I'm in manual mode. I can also engage a 5-band EQ if I want. Right now I have it set to flat because I like the way it sounds and I want it to be as pure as possible for you tuning it at home. I also have a high pass filter engaged, and my limiter, in case you have a very dynamic speaker, or if you were a very dynamic speaker and your levels tend to be all over the place, you can engage that limiter and make sure that you're not going to be getting too loud or clipping. And you can also add some compression. Now, what I like to do when I'm in manual mode is go ahead and lock it out. That way I know I'm not going to be able to bump or adjust any of those settings by mistake. I need to go back in there, unlock it, make my tweaks, and then lock it back up. So I would highly recommend doing that. And the first thing I'd recommend doing when you get your MVX2U home and out of the box is to go ahead and first download the Shure Plus Motive app so that you can use it. But out of the box, you also want to make sure that you update your firmware. And that's something that I recommend for any new product that's going to be utilizing software, because you want to make sure that the latest and greatest is what is installed on your system. So to do that, you can go to these 3 dots in your Motive app and you can click About Motive, and it will show you if you have a firmware package available right there. And it will also indicate it with this little bell It'll kind of give you a notification as soon as you plug it in. And it should also prompt you to download that app. But you can grab it, you can grab it from Shure.com and start using your MVX2U with the Shure Plus Motive app right out of the box. But again, just make sure that you're updating the firmware so you have the latest and greatest. So I've locked out my manual mode, but what's so exciting about the MVX2U is that you can take any microphone that you already have and get it into your computer with the simple inline system. So right now, I could plug this directly into my SM7B, but because I wanted to be able to get up and close and personal with it with you, I decided to run a short little extender cable, but you don't have to do that. And you'll notice on the back that it has a headphone out, which is very handy. I'm monitoring that right now. I have USB-C out and USB-C into my MacBook Pro. And I can also engage phantom power, as you saw. So if I did have phantom power on, which I don't need for my SM7B, a red light would be lit up on the back. It does have a little green indicator on the front to let you know that it is receiving power from your source. And that's it. So I have this on my desktop right now. I'm able to power my SM7B without the need for any additional hardware or cabling, which makes it super convenient. But it's not just for SM7B. If I wanted to, let's say, take a 55SH and bring it into my podcast, I can do that. Or an SM58, SM57. Anything that you have that has an XLR connector can go into this MVX2U. You can provide phantom power for condenser microphones and start recording in high quality audio instantly. And you can also have that benefit of using the auto level mode. So for those of you who are just joining, hopping back into the app, if I do unlock the app and go back over to auto mode, I like to set it in far mode so that I can have a little more flexibility because I like to talk with my hands, but it allows you to have auto gain and auto engineering following you around when you're doing your live stream or your broadcast. So if you are a very dynamic vocalist like I am, or a dynamic talker like I am, then utilizing auto level mode is going to work in your favor. You set it and essentially forget it. Right now, I'm going to switch it over to natural mode so you can hear the difference if you're listening in headphones. This is dark mode if you're listening in headphones. And this is bright mode. So just some basic level EQ. You don't have to know what this means. You don't have to know about compression. You don't have to know about EQ. Just put it into auto level mode. Decide if you want the microphone close to you or far away and go. But if you're like me and you want a little bit more control, you switch it back over to manual mode. And that sounds like this. So you'll hear a little pop of gain when I switch back over there. And then I'm going to customize it the way I want. And again, just lock it out. Then it's not going to have any issues with you bumping it, nudging it. You know it's just right. And it'll save it to the device. So then the next time you plug it in, you don't have to finagle with it again. So it's a really great solution for those of us who are out there making content on the road, or even if you're just going to keep it at your desk. It's so portable. That's what I can't tell people enough. The size of this little guy is so inline. This is an XLR cable. This is the device right here. I have my Aonic 5 earphones plugged into monitor and the USB-C to USB-C cable that came with it running into my MacBook Pro, and that's it. That's all you're hearing right now. So if you're looking for something to streamline your setup, maybe you had the X2U before, you can see the difference in size. It's quite substantially smaller. Again, this is just the device right here compared to that. And still a great product. It did very well. And now we gave it an upgrade. We gave it a facelift. Now you have auto level mode. So you can turn any microphone with an XLR connector into auto level mode, which is something that was only reserved for our USB mics before, essentially like having an engineer in the box or in the room with you in the app. And manual mode with 60 dB of gain that allows you to power the SM7B or other mics that require a little bit more in the gain department. You also have the ability to add a 5-band EQ, compression, and a limiter, and then lock it out and start sounding great no matter where you are. It's super compact, super portable, and can provide that 48 volts of phantom power for your condenser microphones when you're out in the field. So anybody on the stream, I see Paul Duncan, thank you for joining. Anybody have any questions? This is a live stream. I want to hear from you. I want to know what your hopes and dreams are if you've been using our X2U in the past, or maybe you've been using our MVI, which is this is kind of like the marriage of the two, because with the MVX2U, you have the ability to plug in the XLR like our MVI has. You have the ability to monitor out like the MVI has. And you have the USB out like the MVI has. It's a different form factor, has more gain capability, and gives you more control within the app as opposed to tactily on the unit. So maybe you're familiar with that and you've been thinking about upgrading. What I love about it is just how small it is. You know, it's not going to take up any room in my gig bag. It actually kind of looks like our MV88 Plus microphone when you see them side by side, which I wish I had one right here, but apparently I don't. So with MVX2U, if you're going to throw this in your bag or, take it on the road, it's kind of the ideal scenario for that because it can plug your microphone directly in, headphones out, plug into the computer, and that's it. That's all you need. So if you're looking to keep your desk streamlined and all of the gear to an absolute minimum, the Shure MVX2U is going to be the right one for you. And it, again, comes with that USB-C to USB-C connector so that you can plug directly into your computer. And also the thing that's the most important that's setting this apart from its predecessor, the X2U, is the MVX2U now has auto level mode, allowing you to take any microphone XLR and have it adapt automatically so that your gain is constantly adjusting to the source. So if you don't know anything about audio, you're wanting to pick up an interface, it's a super affordable option for you to check out. And just get into the game. If you've been ready to podcast, ready to live stream, the MVX2U is such a great option for you. Super simple to get into. You have the benefit of the desktop apps that you can get in and control. And then you can just be able to get your XLR microphones into your devices, into your desktop. And with iOS devices, I see that tabs on tech. You can check our compatibility page on Shure.com. Right now, it's set to work with your desktop and select Android devices. It does not have MFI certification officially, so that's something to keep in mind with iOS. But that's something that's described by iOS or determined by iOS and Apple. So please check our compatibility page on Shure.com to answer that. Again, it will supply phantom power to your condenser microphone. So you'll see that it has that 3.5 millimeter connector on it so you can monitor. Yes, Marco, it supports select mobile devices. Let me find that link so I can throw it into the chat for everybody so that you can check out what we will work with this particular mic. And you want to definitely check that compatibility so that you're sure. But it is made to be used with your desktop and that desktop app. But definitely check that out. And let's see. All right. So it's also super durable, just like everything that we make with Shure. And that's what I like about it. You can't really tell when I'm holding it up, but it is metal construction here. So you can tell that it's going to be super rugged and able to be tossed around, thrown in the bag. So don't ever be afraid to bring it with you wherever you go. This is the box that it comes in. And in terms of what you get in the box, you get the cable and the MVX2U so that you're able to get up and running. And it also has a quick start guide. If I could get my hands around it, so that you can get up and going as soon as possible. So it's really sleek, really compact, and really ready to go so that you can up your audio game as soon as you get it out of the box. There's no real learning curve. I will say that when you do get into the app and start controlling the mic, if you do put it into manual mode like I just did, lock it out. That way you know it's going to stay where you want it to be, and there's no changes required. Once you get into live streaming and podcasting, you know that those settings are going to remain just the way you worked so hard to get them. But you really don't have to work that hard. That's what's so great with the MVX2U, because you have that auto level mode. You have the ability to go into the mic and let it do the driving. So if you're just joining us, I'm talking about the Shure MVX2U single digital interface, single channel for microphones, converting any XLR mic into a digital signal that'll get into your desktop. Right now I'm going into my MacBook Pro, so it's a laptop technically. But auto level mode is the main feature here that I want to showcase. I'm going to unlock it real quick. And when I go into auto level mode, you'll hear a little change in signal. And now the internal DSP is being applied to the microphone itself or to the MVX2U to control the mic so that I have my gain monitored in real time by the software. So within the app, it's going to be listening and adjusting. If I get loud, it's going to drop my signal. If I get quiet, it's going to adjust my signal. I hope you're listening with headphones. And you have some basic controls here if you want to be near and if you want to be far. So if you want to be further away and be able to gesticulate and not have your mic in your face, or not, maybe you don't have the best mic technique, it's a great way of alleviating that. And you have your dark tone, your natural tone, and your bright tone. You can also adjust your gain level for quieter, normal, or louder. Right now I keep it at normal because it's working for the SM7B, but you can kind of play around with that a little bit. And if you are using a condenser microphone, that is when you would engage what's called phantom power, which is going to power that microphone's backplate, and so that you can work with that. Can also adjust my monitor mix, which is again my signal as opposed to the playback. So example of that is if I were using this gaming and I was communicating with my friends while gaming, I could adjust how much of myself I'm hearing as opposed to how much of the game and my friends I'm hearing. So that's a cool feature right there. Let's switch back over to manual. You'll hear a change in the signal a little bit as it turns off auto level mode and now puts me back in the driver's seat. So I can again engage all of those features. I can even save a preset if I wanted to. And I can employ these other presets that come with the product itself. So I can adjust what I need. I can also mute from within the app. And I can then lock it out so that I can't make any other changes to the app. And I know it's going to stay with me and keep those settings. I'm so happy that y'all are here. If you have any questions, this is interactive. It's not just me chitty chatting. So let me know if you have any questions there. I do see some questions about compatibility. I am trying to find that link, but while live streaming, it's hard to multitask and do that. So do check out Shure.com compatibility to see if your device is going to work with your MVX2U. But we do recommend using it for laptops, desktops, using that Shure Plus Motive app. This is the device right here that we're talking about today. This is the hero. The MVX2U is just this tiny little inline preamp. I can see that I have signal that it is powering the MVX2U. I have my USB-C cable running out of this, plugged directly into my MacBook Pro, and I have my earphones that I'm monitoring with in real time, plugged directly into the MVX2U. So this is an all-in-one solution for those of you who are looking to do a podcast, start live streaming, plug your XLR mic into your computer without having to have a complex or multi-channel interface. You just want to have you, get it into your computer, sound fantastic, put it into auto mode, don't worry about setting any levels, and just go. If that's what you're looking for, this is a fantastic option. If you're looking for a highly portable solution to change your live streaming game, to change your podcast, to get you sounding better right out of the gate, think about the MVX2U. And if you're thinking, that sounds familiar, I've heard of a product that sounds like that, you might be thinking of our X2U. And this is the predecessor to the MVX2U. You can see a size difference here. And this one would allow you to do the same thing, but we've added some major upgrades, specifically auto level mode, the ability to have enough gain to power our SM7B, or power, but, be heard, and the ability to control it using our Shure Plus Motive app. And that's the key features there. You have ultimate control over the device. Paul, thank you. I'm glad that you're looking forward to getting one. You know how to find me, so let's talk. Mario has joined us via the chat. I wish you could be here, Mario, but take care of the trees and the fam because California just keeps getting dealt a bunch of bad hands right now. But here we are, hanging out, talking about the MVX2U, the latest and greatest digital interface from Shure. Single channel, plug in your mic, enable phantom power for your condenser mics, power your SM7B with the onboard 60 dB of gain. It's insane, people. This is such a great feature that we put in here. If you have a microphone like the SM7B and you before were having to get additional devices to power it, additional preamps, now you don't have to. You can just open up your Shure Plus Motive app, get your gain where you want it to be, and then lock it out. And then you're good to go. That's it. So If you've been looking for something to streamline your setup, give you much more power in a much smaller package, and something that could allow you to monitor your audio in real time, and that's USB-C out, the MVX2U. Look no further. It is a great option for you to check out. We just launched it a week ago, so I'm still really pumped about it. I'm always going to be pumped about it. I love my job. I love all these products. But this one especially is cool because the predecessor to it, we loved it. We wanted to make it better, and that's what we do at Shure. We take your feedback from the field and we put it into new and exciting products that give you compelling features that make your lives even better and hopefully remove some barriers so that you can keep creating at your best. So if you're looking for a new inline preamp or if you're looking for a new interface, the MVX2U is a great option with that, especially because it's got that intelligent DSP. What I mean by that, not ESP, DSP. If you're using it here and you go into auto level mode, you can hear the difference right now. It's applying some DSP, digital signal processing, to my voice right now, which lets you take any microphone you already have, get it into your computer, and then have these controls, have the ability to have your gain automatically be adjusted. You don't have to think about it. You're free to create, you're free to stream, and you don't have to worry about where your gain is set. You can also adjust the positioning of the microphone if you don't want it in your shot. You can adjust your tone, you can adjust your gain levels, and you can employ phantom power if you have a condenser microphone. So that's auto mode. And that's something that's really, really cool and special about this particular interface, because with auto level mode, you don't have to do any configuration. You just turn it on, tell the app if you want to be close to the mic or far away from the mic, and let it do the driving. But I don't like that. I want to do the driving. So, oops, sorry, I just got loud in your ear. I switched over to manual mode. You'll hear a little bit of a gain adjustment when it does that while it's kicking off the DSP. So now I'm in manual mode. I've got it set to 52.5 dBs of gain. I can also increase that. Like I said, it's got 60 dBs that it can add to power my SM7B, but I like it around here. All right, this is my kind of comfort zone. And then I'm just going to lock it out. So great option for you. Oops. This whole time I've been talking and you haven't been able to see what I was doing in the app. I'm fired. Jeez. All right. So I just locked it out in the app. But before that, I was in auto level mode and I was letting it do the thinking for me. That's what happens when I let something else do the thinking for me. I forget to change my scenes. That's the story of my life whilst live streaming. But that's the app. So the Shure Plus Motive desktop app, it's free. And when you get your MVX2U home and you start using it right out of the box, you want to get that app. And then you can start working with it. It comes with a USB-C cable in the box, so you're ready to go. And also, you want to make sure that you're monitoring in real time with the headphones. So make sure you grab a set of those, because when you're live streaming or you're podcasting or recording, you want to make sure that what you're recording sounds solid so that in post, your life is easier. That's the MVX2U. It's brand new, just came out last week. If anybody else has any specific questions or if you're looking for info on compatibility, go to shure.com to figure out if it will work with your device. Right now, I'm using it with my MacBook Pro. And far mode was a game changer for me on MV7. Now I can use it with any mic. That's what Mario's letting us know. And that is so true, because it can take any analog microphone you already have and convert it into a digital mic, essentially. So if I switch back over to auto level mode, here I am in far mode, and now I have more freedom and flexibility to move around and not have to worry about my gain. It's going to adjust automatically for me. I don't have to think. I can just create. And that is what I totally dig about this app and about this control of the MVX2U. So helpful. And I love that I can set it into auto mode and not have to think about it at all. I do have some levels of control if I need to, but otherwise I can just switch it back over to manual and control it more. So if I wanted to add some EQ, I can engage this 5-band EQ. I can adjust, I can boost, and then, yeah, I can reset it with the click of one switch, or just leave it the way that it is, lock it out, and I'm good to go. So that is the Shure MVX2U brand new single channel digital audio interface. USB-C out, headphone out for monitoring, inline preamp. I did say that I could plug it directly into my SM7B, but because I wanted to be able to do this, I didn't. But if you want to, you can plug it right in line here. We made it specifically so that it will be able to plug into your SM7B in a boom arm configuration. Again, I just wanted to be able to pick it up and get all up in your grill with it. So I'm sad that I'm missing my partner in crime, Mario. I hope that all is well with you. If there are any other questions, please throw them in the chat now so I can get them out to you. This will be available afterwards. And we go live every month talking about the latest and greatest Shure products. We also talk about promotions that we have, and we'd love to know what you want to hear about. So if you have ideas for future live streams, please throw them here, and be sure to like and subscribe. We are on the Shure Creators channel, going live every month to bring you the latest and greatest from Shure. I'm Laura Clapp Davidson, and I work in market development with Shure. Always happy to answer your questions. Hit me up. Let's chat. You can find me at Laura Clapp Music. And this is our MVX2U single channel interface, digital interface. Get any of your microphones with XLR into your computer using USB-C connectivity, instant audio monitoring with headphone out, DSP control in auto level mode in our Shure Plus Motive app, or manual mode if you're looking to have more control and be in the driver's seat, which I highly recommend. Go ahead and switch it up to manual mode. You can find it on Shure.com or anywhere that you purchase our Shure products. Please check it out today. Please let us know how you're loving it and how it is streamlining your situation. Throw us a like or a comment on this video. I'm so glad that you're here with me. Thanks for listening and taking some time out of your day. And I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your week.